All right, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. There we go. Hey, Umbrella, Mario, Bullish Beaver, happy to see all of you guys here today. There is a lot to talk about. Oh, it's been a rough one here, guys. And thanks for being chill with me not being streaming yesterday. I was gonna stream, but Loki has this little limp on him, and I wanted to make sure he was doing okay. So I didn't really do hardly anything except for like do some work on my phone, contact some people I need to do for meetings. And then I pretty much sat on the bed for most of the time here and just making sure Loki's fine. He got better, but then I let him out today and he got worse again. So he'll be fine. But hope you guys are all having a good day here. Hey Wilder, hey For Real, hope you guys are all doing well here. And Multi-Stacker as well. Loki's gonna come say hi. He's got an injured right foot right now, so he just took some medication for it. It's basically anti-inflammation. He's running around too much and hitting too much stuff, so I think he just has a sore leg, but I feel guilty about it. Loki, well, let me give him a treat. Hence, Loki, oh, there we are. And boom. So this little arm right there is injured. But, oh, okay, we'll see you. There you go. I even bought a whole new bed for him, literally just to put right here, right there, so he can chill out with me right here. There's blankets on the sofa, so he can stay right there. So he's living it up right now, and I'm hoping he's not gonna re-aggravate his leg, so to speak. So hopefully that'll be fine. And hey, Richard, happy to see my man. Hey, Haram, Steve, hope you guys are all doing well. And 88, Sir Sebi, there we go, and Jamrock. Okay, so let's get started here. Before I hit the crypto stuff, I normally don't watch basketball, but I'm actually excited to see what happens with the NBA tonight. Just because I don't want it to be a nice, easy sweep. So if you guys are going to be watching the game tonight, I think I'm going to watch the second half of the game. I won't get there in time because I wanted to stream with you guys because I didn't stream yesterday. I'm going to probably watch the second half of this game, but it doesn't start for about an hour and a half. So I think I should get there, in a reasonable time here. My sister's going to watch Loki for me tonight, and he's over here chilling on the bed. Oh, God, I love when you buy a dog a bed and it actually works out fine. Let me move it over here very fast, and then let's just kind of go through all the news. There's a lot of news going on, and this isn't even the news I was going to be bringing up. What happened to it? There it is. This was the news I saw just a few minutes ago as I was kind of scrolling through X. Justin Spot Ethereum ETF projected to launch by July 2nd. Bloomberg ETF analyst says that's going to be great. I don't think Ethereum had necessarily a crazy move off of it, but I would say it's a decent move. And on top of that, July 2nd is coming up in a couple weeks. Maybe that can be something of a catalyst for the overall market. I'm hoping so because, again, regardless of what you guys are looking at out there right now, you guys may be listening to people like me who have been saying it's not really a swing trading time. Momentum isn't there just yet. Wait a little bit. Just keep on doing your dollar cost averaging and day trading as you will. That's kind of been mine. You got people like Benjamin who's been more talking about altcoins versus Bitcoin dominance. He loves those dominance videos. Very, very important right there. And then you also have other people right now that have been saying, hey, they're doing lots of swings and longs and things of that nature. And they might have got stopped out, but maybe some of them have doubled down and tripled down and stuff like that. There's a whole host of different ideas going out there right now. I think for me, my biggest mistake of this week was basically thinking that the CPI was going to be okay. So, I thought it was going to be like meeting expectations, that type of stuff, which I thought would push the price up. However, I did not expect the Fed to be very hawkish like they were. So that really punished Bitcoin quite a bit because now people, the way they presented their information here, they said they're only going to do one rate cut this year instead of two, and that drastically affected the price of Bitcoin here. I don't think in the long run this is going to matter too much. That's why you kind of see the stock market still rallying up here, even though Bitcoin has decided to get rejected off of those, $70,000 levels right there. We'll be talking about this one on the technical analysis perspective of things, but we'll wait for the charts for that. When I'm looking at this news right here, things are still moving forward. Another reason that I'm going to continue buying Ethereum here at this point. I'm very, very happy about this. So, I didn't have time to actually put some color behind these texts to figure out what exactly is the best thing here. But Bloomberg ETF analysts are moving up their expected spot Ether ETF launch date to July 2nd, according to the analyst Eric Balconis. Following reports that the SEC staff giving S1 responses to ETF issuers, Balconis doesn't expect the approval to face significant delays. Well, 2 weeks, that hopefully, that's pretty fast, but we'll see what happens here. I'm really optimistic about this type of stuff happening here, especially when the market just looks like, it's dollar cost averaging time. it's just not. I want to swing trade so bad because that's where the big bucks come in for me, but it's just not happening right now. The analyst says that the SEC is asking for the S1 form revisions to be returned in a week. Furthermore, the ETF analyst says there is a decent chance they work to declare them effective next week. The SEC reportedly can finalize the approvals before the Independence Day holiday weekend. However, anything is possible. So I think, even if it doesn't come out July 12th or July 2nd, as this one's saying right here, it seems like the Ethereum ETFs are going to be live in July sometime. I don't think the SEC is going to push it back that far. Remember, Biden's walking that tightrope. Trump's somehow done like a 180 reversal. Give me all the crypto, baby. Give me all that crypto. Down with the government coin, all that type of stuff. Trump's on a 180. Biden's spinning in circles because he can't really decide which way he wants to go just yet. And RFK is also like, come here, Bitcoin people, love me, love me, love me. And all of that equals more opportunities, better results for cryptocurrency in the long run here. Short term, you guys know we've still been busted up here, but I do think there's some encouraging signs here. One of them is MicroStrategy is upsizing the latest stock sales up to $700 million to buy more Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin, but man, they love it. They love it a lot. They are doubling down, tripling down. I don't even know. This is like a doubled quintuplet down. I don't even know. I don't know how to pronounce those numbers, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's definitely a little bit more of a rough experience, if you will. Definitely much more of a rough experience here. And hey, Zang, 2SMG, happy to see my man. What do you call? Hope you're doing well. And test. What's the test? I'm scalping on the 1 minute time frames, watching RSI with light stops. That's the way to go right here. But basically, according to official press release, the notes will be sold in private offering to qualified institutional buyers under the Rule 144A of the Securities Act. Yeah. So a portion of the proceeds will go to adding more Bitcoin, and they're buying the dip basically, which of course he's buying the dip. But my gosh, that's a lot of money for an offering. And it looks like they're probably going to get it too. It looks like they're probably going to have enough people tossing $700 million into this and then buy MicroStrategy. And then from there, they'll be looking to make some money off of that investment, just like we're all just buying Bitcoin here, right? And here's that one point I was alluding to, like, Trump versus Biden versus RFK. And this even actually goes into the European stuff. But this is a quick story from Bloomberg here. Crypto can't afford to miss out on election mania. It's definitely been a interesting election cycle, and I believe crypto is only getting this much help from politicians because it's an election issue right now. I don't think there's there's a lot of people out there who know about crypto, but there's not a lot of people who will vote off of that specific topic. But I think that right now, because this election is literally so close, every time you go on the news, the newspaper thing, it's 50-50, you don't know who's going to win, because of that, any one voter can really swing things out in those swing states. Washington State, yeah, we're going for Biden. California, going for Biden. Texas for Trump. Florida for Trump. Ohio for, we all know where most things go. But those Wisconsin people, those Michigan people, Pennsylvania, Georgia, whatever other states are, Nevada, those seem to be, if you can win over 10 to 15,000 people by just saying you're pro crypto, I think a politician will do it. Now, whether or not Biden or Trump or RFK actually keep their word with those crypto policies, I honestly have no idea. I typically don't trust politicians just out of instinct. So we'll see if Trump can keep his word, Biden keep it. Well, Biden has no word. Biden's still kind of pushing crypto away. But between RFK and Trump, if one of them were to win, I still don't know if they would actually honor their word there. So political parties in the UK and the US in full election mode, heading out on the campaign trail to woo voters with the vision of the future. As two of the crypto's largest markets, the industry is keen to convince the would-be lawmakers that supporting digital assets is a good way to win over the electorate. Now, this is good. This is great. But I think this next part is really where you guys get more excited about where crypto is going in the future. And again, we're going to get to this depressing stuff as far as the charts here in a little bit, but bear with me for the news for a little bit because there is some stuff happening that is why I'm so dollar cost averaging despite all this nastiness, right? As of June 3rd, the crypto-focused Fair Shake Super PAC and its affiliates have raised $160 million in this election cycle alone. There's a lot of money there to push politicians to go the right way. And specifically just saying, hey, if you support our policies once you're in office, we will donate to your campaign. That simple type of quid pro quo type of things, that's basically what's going on right now. And I do think that matters, because that means that if they get into office, that's more crypto people up there. However, if there's somebody that's maybe on the fence about cryptocurrency that's already in Congress, this may make them like, hey, I'll take that money. Don't support this other guy. I'll be your pro crypto guy. I need the money to win because I like this cushy job, basically. So again, a lot of fun stuff happening here. I was actually listening to this. I think Crypto RS was talking about this earlier. But Bernstein says Bitcoin could hit $1 million by 2033. I mean, I trust Plan B more than a lot of these other people out there, because Plan B is pretty spot on. Or generally, he's pretty good. So maybe I'll sell most of my Bitcoin in 2033 or something like that, then retire a little bit. Maybe I'll have I'd only sell about half my Bitcoin if I ever chose to sell my long-term assets, though. I don't know about you guys. Maybe some of you guys want to sell. Maybe some of you guys don't want to sell. I don't know. Eventually, I'm going to have to take some profit off of here. $200,000 by 2025. Honestly, 2025 may just be some nasty, weird little bear market thing before a large move in 2026, but we'll have to wait and see. This market that we've been seeing so far has not been your typical bull market, of course. I'm back over here. This is where things kind of get kind of rough over the last few days. Over the past few weeks, inflows have been fantastic. We've been seeing more and more money flow into cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin spot ETFs. Now, all of a sudden, boom, it's not been so good here. Bitcoin ETFs see a $226 million outflow led by Fidelity's FBTC. Fidelity is not doing so good. And you can see this right here. BlackRock's IBIT was the only ETF posting a net inflow on Thursday, while most funds recorded outflows. Something about BlackRock, guys. BlackRock has got this locked down. So it looks like the IBIT may be the one that you want to buy in the long run. I'm not saying it's going like the price is going up and Bitcoin's going down, but it seems like most people seem to trust BlackRock here, maybe because they're so ruthless when it comes to their business, right? They definitely know how to get their investors their money. That's always been true there. So let me see if I can go find this very fast. You can see right here, a lot of inflows, a lot of outflows. GPTC still going down. That's Grayscale, of course. They're always selling off here. But you can see, over the past few days, most stuff has been good, right? Most stuff has been good. It's just that Thursday alone definitely had some rough patches here. 53 million, 106 million. But, people are taking the opportunity to buy the dip a little bit there, especially when it comes to BlackRock, I would say. And there you go. I was going to show you guys this very fast, if I can pull this out. There we go. They even bought some Bitcoin today. Today's Friday, right? God, my brain is just so... Yeah, today's Friday, yeah. Been a busy week, guys. They even bought some Bitcoin today, which I'm pretty happy about. But long story short, before we start getting into the technicals here, because that happens right after this, because the way inflation's been going, I still think we're on a path where you guys are still dollar cost averaging. I've been seeing, I think, a lot of FUD around the internet so far today. A lot of people on YouTube saying, hey, I'm selling all my Bitcoin. We're going into like a bear market again. And I'm not of that viewpoint. And I think it just kind of grows when the market's having a really, really bad time. But yes, right now things are very, very painful. And again, it's not because of Bitcoin. It's because all of our altcoins are just bleeding out in an ugly mess at this point, and we're still waiting for those to right themselves, right the ship, and start going back up here. And we'll be talking about a lot of altcoins today, I guarantee it. One thing here I just wanted to point out, though, for the trading economics forecast here, they have next month's forecast at 3.1%. If it were to hit that or even beat that, that would be a huge accomplishment for the Fed, for the inflation battle, and that could actually get us up to speed for maybe 2 rate cuts. And like I said before, the Fed saw this information as far as the inflation numbers that came out from CPI data. They saw that the morning they announced the report. I don't think they updated their numbers even after seeing the cooler than expected inflation data. So I still am pricing in 2 rate cuts for this year, 2 rate cuts. Some people may say it's only going to be 1. Some people may say it's 3 or 4, whatever like that, I'm still saying at this point, economy is still relatively strong. People don't have as much purchasing power. I get that, but it's just the way the world sucks, right? And then I think we're going to have them in September and November. I think we are going to have one by September. I think even Benjamin updated the odds, and I think a lot more people are actually pricing in a September rate cut now, which means hopefully the market will adjust to that. Because again, once these interest rates start coming down a little bit more, it's not like back over here in 2019 when they came down pretty fast. The Fed gave up the fight pretty early. Nope. And then we had COVID, which kind of just dropped everything off. But so far, we've been holding steady. And typically, if you go back in time a little bit more, this is 2008, 2007, we typically don't hold these for too long, maybe about a year or something. And we've been on this path for a while. Last 5 years, July 2023, we're basically hitting the 1 year mark next month. Oh my God, the first fly of the fucking summer in here. I have my window open. That's why. Sorry, I'm not used to having flies in my house. I literally have a whole bunch of shit to kill them. It's the problem with living in the woods. You go back over here to the 2000s. Again, 2000 May, January of 2001. We're usually not in these high rate environments for too long because stuff really starts to crack and break. We had the banks break for a little bit, then the government gave them unlimited amounts of credit, then they survived. So a little bit wonky right there, but again, we're getting there, guys. So what I'm gonna do is actually start getting rid of a lot of these extra tabs I have on the top. That way my computer doesn't freak out on me. My CPU has just been abysmal with Google lately and all this, all my YouTube software, so to speak. All right, so let's get rid of that. As far as the prices are concerned, I mean, let's let this actually update here. It feels like it's a little bit slow. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Yeah. Bitcoin's down about 1%. Tether's down. Well, not Tether, BNB's down up a little bit here. Solana's down a little bit. Ethereum is up off of that news we talked about a few minutes ago. I think that was actually some pretty good news there. XRP's down. Dogecoin's down. Toncoin's up. ADA's down. You see a lot of red in here. I mean, Near Protocol's down about 5%, it looks like. There's been some bounces happening over the last few minutes, and we'll talk about that. But I think overall, I'm just continuing to dollar cost average. That's all I'm doing at this point in time. I feel no need to swing trade here. So what I have right now is a few different charts for you guys. They're all going to be Bitcoin related. This is our normal Bitcoin chart when you want to just look at the shorter time frames here. This one right here that you guys know. And this one, I put out a video this morning talking about a new feature I saw in TradingView where they have all chart patterns, where they have like automated patterns on the chart. So I'm going to see if I can test this out and see how this works out. I'm not entirely sure how it works with altcoins because typically what I'll do is I'll use this type of stuff specifically for stocks and Bitcoin and Ethereum, not so much the more volatile altcoins because they can be kind of rough right here. So we'll have lots of different things to check out. I do have a new partnership with CoinW. I'll start sponsoring, you'll be hearing about me talking about them more often. They did give me some money to trade with, so I am going to be trading with it eventually. They gave me basically like $500, and I was like, hey, we can decide where that money goes together. Fairdesk account, I put more money in here myself. This isn't so much Fairdesk money as my own, but this is usually going to be more Bitcoin focused along with altcoins, while this one right here, CoinW and Blowfin, they're primarily going to be 2x or 3x longs with high risk tokens that have lower market caps for sure. So a lot more fun. That's how we made all that money with Turbo, and why I sold my Turbo off a while ago, because it was just making me too much money where I was like, ooh. And now we might even be looking at buying up some Ethereum here, which could be pretty fun for a little bit of a swing trade once Bitcoin gets its act together. Hopefully that happens sometime around July now. So long story short here, let's just kind of break down what's going on here on the daily charts and so forth. Let's worry about the oscillators in a little bit. You can see at this point, we do have a new change of character, bearish move as far as Bitcoin's concerned. It looks like we're going to try to head back down here towards $64,000 and then probably start pushing back down here towards 62. It's not going to be the best next few days, in my opinion. This weekend's going to be coming up. There's not going to be a dollar index rolling around. And the last time I checked the dollar index, yeah, it's up today. So it's not really in the best shape here. The 4-hour chart still happens to be bearish. The 1-hour chart still happens to be bearish. And of course, the 15-minute chart's been bearish, even though we've had a little bit more of a bounce here over the past few minutes. So let's pull this up here very fast. Let me grab a drink of my sparkling water. There we go. So now I just want to take a little bit of a focus on the oscillators here. So typically in this environment, when you have that change of character and you have everything pointing towards negative, this is typically an okay opportunity for people to start shorting even more. You have a few levels of support, I would say. One is going to be right there, this little bit of resistance back around 64,200, and that next one obviously is going to be closer down here towards 61,200. So this is definitely more of a shorting opportunity. Over the next few days, I'm going to be more heavily buying up different assets. A little bit of Bitcoin for sure, but definitely more of those things that are coming down quite a bit. As we've looked at other tokens over the past few weeks, I mean, things like Turbo and MOG, they've come up a lot, but they're also falling down quite a bit. Things like RLC still falling down, coming down below support. World token breaking down below this large support level right here. I mean, just coming down hard. Ajax AI tokens right there. And I mean, if Bitcoin takes this next step down, I mean, there's going to be some blood in the water here. So I'm actually thinking of, I bought a little bit today, but I'm thinking of actually just wait until tomorrow or Sunday to see what happens. Now, Sunday I'm flying out just for a couple of days to go visit a friend, but I'm going to take that chance to wait a little bit longer before I buy more heavily. I guess I'm always buying. You guys know me. And if there's something that's dumping really far, you know, I'm happy to buy some up. But Injective right now is down 10%. I mean, look at this thing. It's just getting freaking hammered. Here's the 15-minute chart. We're hitting the level of support right now. That's a pretty good level of support to be buying for a day trade, if you will. But as far as what happens next, if Bitcoin does take that next level down, so definitely more of a patience for me with slight dollar cost averaging, but I'm going to be a little bit different this time, and I'm actually just going to wait a couple days to see what happens. We have about 40 minutes left to see if we can actually close above that 50-day moving average right there. So far, it doesn't seem to be happening at this point. Let me actually draw this up for you very fast. Watch that. I'm going to add on this extra thing, and let's make it into a 50 daily. Zoom out a little bit. And you can see how we're basically right below it. See the price action right here, just right below it here. The current price of Bitcoin is like 65,930, where the SMA is at this point is kind of around 66,001.54. So we're just like $80 above it. I mean, like $70 above it, like really, really close to it. So I think we have some time to see what may happen next. But, you know, I'm not the most optimistic person out there. I'm mostly just going to wait to see if we do continue to come down here. Again, not dumping day by day by day, but we should find our way back down to at least 64,000. And then after that, it's kind of more of a gamble if we get back down to like $62,000, $63,000, all right? So if you guys are looking for something more of a breather, or maybe you guys feel more confident about buying, it's not right now because, again, everything on the daily charts is all pointing towards more downside. The 4-hour chart at this point, holding up on that support level just a little bit. Again, a little bit more of a breather there. But we're not really seeing momentum shift back to a more positive direction just yet. And on top of that, again, we still have this bearish change of character from over here at 5 p.m. from Monday. That's still been bearish, and we haven't been able to get out of that, mostly because of all the, while CPI data was good, the Fed was definitely not the good news there. All right, now let me go back over here to show you one more thing with the 1-hour charts, because this has actually been pretty nice so far. All right, the 1 hour is slowly starting to change some momentum here. If we can hold on a couple more hours, there might be an opportunity for us to swing back up here a little bit higher, back up to like 66,700 or so. But really, guys, I don't really see these as really great opportunities to trade. I'd be looking at some of those altcoins at support levels, trying to buy those up at a little bit better, for better returns, so to speak, right now. All right, and then one last thing here. The dollar index after that great CPI report, hawkish Fed, it's finding its way to a new high over the last few days. And look at that, still spiking back up here. So that's horrible news for us if you guys want to see Bitcoin go to all-time highs. Next big thing here that you guys need to be aware of is if I just put this right there. There we go. We have some resistance coming up maybe sometime next week. You might see Bitcoin have a rough next week and then bottom out and then try to have something of a multi-week recovery where all of a sudden everybody's very, very excited again. Just as this has had massive waves, you've definitely seen Bitcoin over the last few weeks have these waves, and people have really been freaking out about them. And you can see how much volatility there has been in each week. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of people freaking out, a lot of day traders in there. Trust me, I get it. But right now, again, dollar cost averaging still seems to be the way to go. Momentum on the weekly chart is still not there. Remember, if you guys know me or if you guys know the way I trade, some of you guys probably don't because you might have hopped on a few hours ago. Maybe this is your first stream. The way I like to trade is like to wait for momentum plus a breakout. So I'm just waiting for the Fibonacci breakout right here. That's all I'm waiting for. Oh, I should lock that in their place. There we go. I'm waiting for that Fibonacci breakout, like here, like here, like here. I'm waiting for that, breaking above $72,000 basically, 72,300. And then I'm also just waiting for the MACD to turn back to being a little bit more bullish here. I'm waiting for the stochastic to be more bullish. I mean, it's bullish right now, so that's fine. And the RSI, I'm waiting for that to be bullish. Once all four of those things happen, I'm pretty darn content with just going long and having some really large positions in there. Even, that'll make me more optimistic about what happens with CPI data, FRMC, stuff like that. I don't even think those will be a massive hit on what's going to happen. Because every time you break out, sure, there may be a little bit of a pause right there, or maybe sometimes there's like a little bit more of a slow grinding activity. We still find a way to keep going up, and people will continue to buy, and buy more. And on top of all this, remember, the supply of Bitcoin is at a historical low right now. There's just not that much Bitcoin out there to buy. So once that next, big push comes into play, it really should speed up the process here, where maybe it only takes about a month, maybe just a month or something like that at most, to get up here towards, $90,000, maybe $100,000, which is that next level of resistance. What happens after that $104,000? Honestly, I have no idea, but I love to swing trade these suckers up here, take my money, run, and wait to see what happens next. On that weekly chart, though, if you try to put into place that daily support that we were just talking about right there, but we have some support right over here, kind of around $64,000 basically. That's pretty much where we are going to see that 20-week moving average. This, for now, is going to be a support level that I'm looking for. But let's say we break down below it like we did over here or over here. It's not the end of the world. It has been known to be a little bit of a level of support for us, though, in times of crisis. Now, we broke out, but then FTX happened. We broke out there, right? Broke out there, a little bit of support right there. That resistance level, I think, is going to be crucial for us. And for this instance, it's going to be that support level here. So you might want to just keep that on monitored a little bit here. Because at this point, you're going to be looking for anything to be doing more day trading. Swing trading, to me, off the table. The most, if you want to call it a swing trade, it's going to be like a day trade where you hold it for up to 30 hours. That's basically going to be the modern swing trade for these next few weeks here. Alrighty, let's go back over here to the 15-minute chart and kind of just watch to see how this plays out, because Bitcoin is definitely having a rough time. You're starting to see the 15-minute chart turn over just a tad here, so it's definitely going to have to keep this momentum up. Otherwise, we are going to be heading back down here towards the low 65s. How low do you think Sol will go if Bitcoin goes to 64 and then 61? Let me see right here. Solana. I remember we did the support levels for Solana. I'm hoping they're still there. Yeah, okay, yeah. So right now, if Bitcoin starts heading back down to 64,000, let me go over here to the daily chart. Yeah, we'll hold up right here. Got a little extra support around 137. So if Bitcoin starts coming back down here towards $64,000, what are we at right now? Exactly at 66. You might see it get pushed back down here towards 131 or so, and then the things might get pretty bad where you might actually come back down here to 124 if it goes back down to 62 or 61, and then it might ultimately have a nasty wick back down here either to this support level right there, 115, or possibly getting pushed back down here a little bit more towards 106. I don't think it would come back down below 100 though, but this Solana could really take a pretty nasty move here, just because this is one of those larger tokens. When this thing starts moving back down, people don't realize this, but if you go from here, this little peak, Solana's down about 25%. It can definitely move down 50%, 35%, 60%. It can definitely make those big moves if given the opportunity, right? At this point, though, I'd see it more likely to be like a 34% move from the peaks over here. But I think what were the order limits we chose earlier? I was talking to somebody else about this. The first limit order was going to be right over here where it is now, kind of around that 143 level. It went down to 140, so it was a little bit high maybe. But I mean, who could be exact? And then ultimately coming back down here towards the 127 level might be your second opportunity. And if you want to take something more of a gamble, and only have one, you might be looking up for something around the 115 to 110 level. That might be the best. Because what I'm looking at here as well is, let's get rid of these. This one was for another trade a while ago. There we go. If you find out where that trend change was, you pull up on that Fibonacci level. That support level from the Fibonacci's perspective is way down here at $98. You pull in this and you actually turn on the fib levels based on long scale. There we go. You change it up a little bit. That next level is right around 109, 110. I'm thinking of the 109, 110 level. Go over here to the 4-hour chart. A little bit of a stop. It tried to hold. It tried to hold. Wasn't able to. Right now, we're coming back down here to that 133 level. Again, I'm choosing to go a little bit lower based off of the daily charts here, right? Like right down there. But again, right below that, you do see us having a little bit more of a Fibonacci level around 108 or so. I'd still do 110 because I never expected to really hit that level. I expected to always get kind of close, right? There we go. And where was Ken? I think Ken had a question there. And here, I like happy to see my man Lux guy had kind words in these trying times. It sucks, guys. I mean, like, I'll be the first to admit, hey, this really just sucks. But again, this is why when I told you guys, like, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands and waiting to see what happens, doing my little dollar cost averaging. That's typically all I'm doing. There's a reason for it, but that's just because it means I don't have the confidence to say, hey, we're definitely going up, we're definitely going down in a short amount of time. It's like, hey, I know eventually Bitcoin's going up. I know eventually altcoins are going up, but the prudent thing for me to do right now is dollar cost average because this whiplashing of the economic data like smoked us. Like CPI was perfect, absolutely perfect. And then Jerome Powell had to come in here and was like, "Now we're going to be hawkish for the first time in like a quarter or two." Double top forming on the Bitcoin weekly. You can call it a double top for it now. It might end up turning into something more like a rectangle because so far what you have is this basically, right? So if we were to break down below the 56,552 level, that would definitely be a more of a trying move where you'd probably get pushed back down all the way towards $51,000. And that could be a confirmed double top, you know, I think that'd be a way to think about it. Right now, though, I'm not even trying to think about that because if that happens, you're going to see altcoins. I mean, like, let's go back over to Sol. I mean, you see Solana pushing, you know, 85 all the way down here to $50. I mean, that, woof, what a time that would be. I think at worst throughout the summer, because again, I'm still of the opinion that I'm dollar cost averaging because I believe Bitcoin's going to break out and go up towards $100,000 plus. At this point in time, what I think if we do break down below this and we have a really, really just abysmal summer, I think this would turn into something more like a falling wedge where it might not even look like an aggressive wedge here, but something more like this. And then we have to wait a while for that, you know, for that breakout. I'm hoping that's not the case because that really does take us up until like, you know, fall. And I really don't want to wait for fall for all this type of stuff. I mean, the amount of dollar cost averaging you guys can do in that time is amazing. But, you know, I've been dollar cost averaging since like what, March over here. The last dollar cost averaging we did was back over here, starting off in December, waited, and then we pumped up. Can you imagine the pump after this consolidation, breaking above that $72,000 and $74,000 short walls, if you will? I think it's like $12 billion in shorts up there. There you go. Let's get rid of these little lines now, though. But again, we'll see. I mean, we're heading back down towards the 200 daily moving average. We haven't come into contact with this in a hot minute, all the way over here. But, and again, we did break down below it before we had that good news. This was all good economic data, inflation data, the Fed not hiking rates anymore, everybody assuming they're going to pause. That's what really kicked off this. Then Bitcoin spot ETFs did that. You know, we don't really have anything that's going to give us that next move here. Now, why is this like this? Why is this like this? This is not supposed to be the way it is. Bitcoin 1 week. Oh, well, let me go back over here. Oh, I might have got rid of the wrong Fibonacci level. That could have been it. Yeah. I just want to add that trend-based one on here very fast. which one was this? See, this is why I have those multiple things. I don't know why they're so different. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe this one. There we go. Okay. More of a fib thing here. Yeah. But at this point, I'm not assuming it's going to turn out to double top. I'm thinking much more of some type of continuation pattern that just looks kind of ugly. Something like a falling wedge, maybe even a rectangle. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But if we do break down below this, I mean, there's a strong case for us coming all the way back down towards like $50,000 at that point. If it does happen, There you go. And you can even see right now, off of that, Bitcoin's still having some trouble breaking back into that territory, because if we can get back above this, things can actually get kind of bullish for the weekend here. We'll wait and see, but I mean, things can. Again, we'll be patient with that one. And hey, Walter, yeah, I know it absolutely sucks. Yeah, I always forget that I have the premium version, because once you put on the credit card, it just kind of you pay it off every month, but you don't really remember it because the credit card just says, hey, you owe this much money and whatever. But yeah, for that one, you have to have the premium. So I put this up here. So if you guys ever want me to check out a token, maybe something more for members because it takes a bit of time, this should be able to go through a lot of the tokens and different stocks that we check out. And you can just see this like SPY, it says it's a rising wedge, but you have to like push this down a little bit more. I don't like how some of it acts sometimes, but again, this is a daily chart. What's the weekly chart look like here? I don't think the market's ever going to break down below that here. We'll wait and see. You never know. But some of these general trends I think are pretty nice. The 1 hour charts and stuff, not really my favorite, but they have some merit here. Bullish flag, it's breaking out right now at the end of the day. Would I buy that? No, because again, it's not the end of the day. 5 minute chart seems to be where things are at. Right? Break it right there. It's still moving higher. It's just that people have to kind of be patient with these trades, and they're not. I know pattern trading is always a little bit more difficult than momentum trading. Momentum requires you just to relax and enjoy the ride. Pattern trading means that you have all these really tight stop losses, when I don't like to have tight stop losses. Can I look at Bonk? Yeah, let me take a look at Bonk here right now. It's done about 5% of the day. Actually has a pretty similar chart to Bitcoin here. Let's check out the weekly chart first. Let's get rid of all these current old levels. So this is a little bit more of a newer token as far as, compared to like things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. So all of the MACDs and stuff don't really work on the weekly chart. They do, however, work on the daily chart. And you can see this bearish trend that's really been kicking off. Wow, what is this? Back over here, sell, sell, sell. Yeah. And it's generally been an okay opportunity to short. I think the one thing here is the change of character has still been positive so far because of how violent that move was to the upside. Now, let's pull this back a little bit. You do have some support coming up here closer to the point 0.00040 2155 level here. I'd probably do an initial buy in here and then continue dollar cost averaging afterwards. But I might actually add a little bit more of an order block here from this more of a zone. So I might actually have a large buying zone here, to be honest. You could try to punch this up here to there, but I don't think that's going to be enough, especially if Bitcoin tries to play some games. And again, when we talk about Bitcoin here, let's go to the 4 hour chart. Sorry, daily chart. If Bitcoin comes back down to that next level of support, let's say we end up coming back down here like another 8%, 7%, that's a lot for a altcoin to be moving down as well. So I might say we might come down as low as 1888.5, somewhere in that territory, which means Bonk in the short term may fall down about 12%. At worst, if Bitcoin does take that leap down, it could probably come down another 20% before you're really ready to buy that back up again. I'm dollar cost averaging it. I have a position open in it right now. The position is not up nearly as much as it used to be. As you can tell, Bonk was up a lot more a few days ago, a lot more. My position right now is only up around 23% with a 3x leverage, so that's not really much at all. However, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into it over the next few days just because, again, it is something that has been working out pretty well for me. Same with Floki, Pepe, a lot of these meme coins. I'm doubling down into these things, maybe even tripling down in some circumstances here, but they have gone down a lot in the short term. Now, again, if Bitcoin gets much worse than that, you could definitely see it flushing all the way back down here to the lows of 15,287. I think at that point, it could definitely happen here. I don't think it would actually come all the way back down to this order block, but I do think it can make some type of a play back into this zone down here. I'll keep you updated, but just remind me, right now it is still bearish. It is still going to try to come into contact with it a little bit further. I might be looking at dollar cost average, probably starting today or tomorrow, and continuing to add more to that, though. I'm not going to really try to time this up too much unless there's some one specific day where everything is kind of doing very, very poorly. That means that the bonk is down maybe like 10 to 15%. I'll probably add a lot on that specific day just because it's a great sale day, if you will, because eventually when you kind of pull this out a little bit more, we're still doing fine. You look at things like bonk, we're still in an uptrend here. Still doing okay. Now, not the most flattering of shapes, I know, but you can always add a bunch of different lines on here if you really must. And you're going to wait, hopefully not too long, for this to break out sometime this summer, this fall. And that breakout should push you up really high, and that might be the high for the cycle for bonk. Now, that's going to be looking sometime in October, December, perhaps. I'm not the best with times and whatnot, but it looks like that might be the highest point that this gets for a while. Then you're probably going to see a really strong downward move like any altcoin takes when the Bitcoin market comes back down. All of this, though, is a big guess on my part because, guessing the end of a bull run is incredibly hard stuff. And there's only been so many bull runs, but I can tell you now, I have never guessed it right for the end of a bull run. I have never guessed it right. I can't believe they control crypto now. Well, big money's coming in. That's okay. They do control a lot of the prices in some circumstances because they can dump and buy and some of that. I don't think they're going to do it too often. That's for sure. However, I will say this. When we're looking at Bitcoin or most of these larger assets that actually have some type of utility behind them, I'm going to say that I am definitely going to continue to buy those for the long term and have a separate portfolio for those for the long term. Now, these are different tokens out there like a Bitcoin, an Ethereum, a BNB. You got to have those exchanges. Solana, XRP, even, yes. Now, I don't add much into it, but I still have some. Things like Dogecoin, perhaps, but not really a big utility token, right? Maybe there's something they can do with Elon, and that's kind of the maybe aspect of it. ADA, personally, I'm not doing much there. AVAX, yes. Tron, yes. I'm very good friends with the Tron team. They're not paying me anything, but I get little knickknacks and stuff. If I can find my little knickknack that I got from them. Oh, I wish I had that thing. It's so cool. See, I get chill stuff like this. Now, again, they don't pay me anything, but they're just good people to vibe with, and I like their projects. So, because it's just $1 for a transaction fee and you just can send it, it's always been pretty nice. But I get little knickknacks like that. Look at that. Look at that little thing. Look at that. I don't know why, but I love it. And it has a non-plasticky smell, which I love. Actually, it's not plastic. It's something else, but I'm afraid to break it because it kind of feels delicate yet sturdy at the same time. Back over to there. There we go. And then we also have Polkadot. Part of me just wants to buy some Polkadot. This up, have maybe a steady $100 every 2 weeks into Polkadot for maybe 5-month period of time, and then just stake it and just forget about it for 10, 15, 20 years. And I just want to see what happens to it. That's the only real reason I'd be buying much Polkadot. Chainlink, yes, buying some of that. Bitcoin Cash, never been a big fan of just buying it and holding it for long term. Cycle trading, yes, buy during when everything's crashing, yes, and then sell when it's high, yes. But as far as just long-term portfolio, never really been a fan there. Near Protocol, maybe in the future. Hasn't really been the biggest fan this year so far. I hopped on late to this because I just never really found the huge appeal for it, but a lot of people do, so that's one thing. Litecoin, I own some. I haven't really done much with it over the past few years, but I own some. Matic, a little bit over there. In that computer, a little bit, I would say I own some of that. Monero, no. Hedera, no. Render, yes. Quite a bit of Render. Filecoin, a little bit here. So there's some stuff I add in here, but there's a lot of stuff where I'm just, you kind of pass over it. And the further you go down the market cap, it's like, Brett, Fetch AI, turning something new. I will buy that new token. Or, yeah, I'll dollar cost average whatever it turns into. Once I make sure that the tokens I own, they get turned into that new token. you know, and then I'll be more optimistic. I want to see if they do a good job with that. So there's a lot of stuff out there, but usually it's going to be something with utility. Now, one of the things that happens when I go to expos and I'm out there and I'm talking with people having a good time is I meet a lot of interesting characters out there in the world. And interesting just means like they hold some type of sway or power. You know, I don't know if you guys, like, you know, the BlackRock people were all over Consensus. They were talking to anybody that needed to be talked to. They could pretty quickly tell if they needed to make a deal or not with you, or like just, you know, introduce themselves. And, you know, they're really chill guys. So all that money's flooding into those tokens slowly but surely. They all know what they're doing. What is stopping everybody, I think, from at this point from having those massive investments that maybe are more public, we still don't have the regulation. So if BlackRock starts making all these investments, then all of a sudden, you know, Gary Gensler comes out and says, "How dare you do this? How dare you do these investments? How dare you try to grow these things? We're going to sue you." Not BlackRock, but, you know, the companies that BlackRock's working with. It just becomes an investment that is more trouble than it's worth. So I think they're pretty much just like on standby mode, waiting to unleash the floodgates. And what we've seen so far is basically just little cracks where there's a little bit of water coming through, a little bit. But we're looking at, you know, the Hoover Dam ready to go and just sweep over everything, which is, again, a good case for dollar cost averaging and holding for the long term as far as crypto is concerned. But for the long term, you're only really holding a few tokens out there. You're not really holding like 100 tokens, 150. No, a lot of things you're doing cycle where you're buying the low of the cycle, you're trying to try out the high of the cycle, you know, but you're not necessarily holding them for too long. At the end of this cycle, I'm going to be out of like most of my coins. I'll maybe have a few percentages left just because of the way I scale out, you know. Then after that, all that money goes towards, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solanas, and then, you know, kind of looking to see what the new tokens are, because there's going to be a lot of new tokens that come out of that next bear market as well. BD, the thrill of enjoying seeing it go up every day for months. Yeah, we're definitely not there anymore, and it really does suck. I mean, just to kind of point out what he's talking about here, go over here to the Bitcoin daily chart. Let's get rid of the chart patterns very fast. And go over here towards the time when we had free COVID money. Grinding up. We did take a little bit of time right here. We had a little bit of stagnation for about November 20th. No, what is that? Yeah, November 20th all the way over here to about December 15th. So every now and again, we had a pause of a month. This one over here, I guess you could say, was more of a pause for January 9th over here to about... But yeah, we usually had month pauses every now and again, it looks like. But now we kind of have a lot more sloppiness. I don't know how long of a pause this was, guys. But this wasn't the same as the bull market. That was a 212-day pause. We had some grinding up. That was probably the magical moment of the cycle. Died off really fast. You know, Bitcoin spot ETFs ran up again. Short pauses. But I think, you know, since we're in this kind of phase right now, you can definitely feel that the optimism from people getting sucked out. The more I look at these, you know, these charts, the more I talk about this stuff. You go on Twitter, you see everybody kind of upset. You go over here to... Where is it at? There you go. Oh, you guys can't see this. Let me pop over here to this one. You know, fear and greed. We're definitely not into that greed territory right now, and you can feel that vibe shift. You can definitely feel that vibe shift. Though there's tons of traders out there and stuff, but as far as, you know, what they do, they're definitely not as engaged with it, because maybe they're like me. Right now, I've probably been the most boring YouTuber on talking about Bitcoin, because I haven't been screaming buy. I've been screaming day trade, because it's much more simple at this point. You know, we've been going sideways. What are you not going to swing trade into that? And I'll let you guys know when I start doing swing trades. I mean, you guys know the criteria for it. It's just not there yet. It's going to be so great when it happens, though. I thought the SEC lost its power over cryptocurrency recently. No, so right now there's some bills going through Congress. We had one bill that got passed by the House and the Senate. It was a bipartisan support, you know, bipartisan bill, but Biden vetoed the bill. So that's one thing. So I forget what it was called. Was it the SAB bill? If you type in Biden veto crypto. There you go. So this happened just a couple weeks ago. U.S. President fucking ads. U.S. President Biden vetoes resolution overturning SEC guidance. Joe Biden said he would veto the resolution before the House and or Senate voted on it. And then SAB 121 is a controversial piece of SEC accounting guidance that directs financial institutions holding crypto for customers to keep the assets on their own balance sheets. So basically, just a lot of mumbo jumbo legal talk here. But this was a bill that was going to take away some of that power from the SEC and give a little bit more freedom to some of those financial institutions. However, Biden vetoed the bill. I mean, right there. Biden vetoes resolution. So, didn't go through. I know, it sucked. Which really sucked is because before he did this, if you recall, he told Gary, or that the word is like, there was a discussion where he said, hey, Gary, allow the Ethereum ETFs to kind of get pushed through. That way everybody doesn't think I'm so anti-crypto. And so because of that, he was like, oh, now I can breathe again. He says, now I can do this. And this got everybody to kind of like not like Biden again. I don't know. Biden's in a horrible space with crypto right now. I think he needs to be much more crypto friendly. My vote for either Biden, Trump, or RFK, a large part of it is cryptocurrency focused. It's just because that's what matters to me. As bad as the economy has gotten for most people, it's, I got enough money where the economy doesn't really bother me too much. We talk about inflation a lot because I understand, I grew up in really shitty circumstances, right? But right now in my life, poverty isn't one of my day-to-day life issues. It's basically, how do I protect the money I have, how to make more money. And part of the fact is, to make more money, I want a cryptocurrency, the blockchain technology, Web3. I want all of that to be in an environment where the United States government is supporting it and not just, pointing a freaking pistol at it every day and go, pow, pow, SEC lawsuit, boom, 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 sorry for the little beatbox lesson, but you get what I'm trying to say here, and it's just been freaking abysmal. So as this election gets closer and closer and closer, perhaps we're not going to see as much of the vetoing of bipartisan bills. I say bipartisan because you guys know how hard it is to get Democrats and Republicans to even like mesh right now. I was really optimistic this thing might not get vetoed, but unfortunately it did. There is actually another bill going through though. I forget what it's called. It's like F something. Crypto bill. The other one is let's see. There it is. This topic isn't the topic I care about, but it's the name of the bill that I wanted to go in here too, yeah. Maybe crypto. There we go. So this is a bill that's still going through the works of Congress, but it did pass the House with bipartisan support. Democrats, Republicans, all coming together as a happy family and passing the bill. We'll see what happens in the Senate, but Joe Biden hopefully will not veto this one. So, there's bills passing through, but unfortunately, it's not really covered as much when the president vetoes something because they typically don't do it all too much, right? So, U.S. House approves crypto FIT 21 bill with a wave of Democratic support. And this basically does, it's 279 to 136. That's a huge vote. Now, let me see if I can just find out what the main point here. The United States has fallen behind other global jurisdictions in establishing crypto regulations, and despite the win on Wednesday, implementing such oversight is far from complete. We need rules of the road, said Representative Josh Gottheimer, Democrat from New Jersey. So they want to have those general rules. This is basically that bill right now. President Joe Biden opposed the bill with a policy statement, though he didn't say he'd veto the bill. So Joe Biden, he still may veto the bill, but gosh darn it, I mean, if he vetoed this bill as well, which would give pretty good rules and regulations for the majority of people out there, for the majority of situations, I do think he would force a lot of die-hard cryptocurrency fans to vote for Trump or RFK. I don't know if they'd focus more on Trump or more on RFK. I really don't know. It's kind of more that personal preference of your policy, your social policies and all that type of stuff. But I don't think a lot of people would still vote for Biden unless crypto, again, was not their main priority. But that's why I said, the crypto diehards, which can swing an election just because of somehow how close the last election was. It's a shame. I really wish Biden was much more on the side of, hey, let's grow cryptocurrency, let's thrive. And I think he's trying to get there, but he's trying to do it in an overregulated way. And again, we have this dam ready to break, but Biden's scrawny ass is up there like saying you shall not pass. So give it some time here. Give it some time. Hopefully you guys aren't like 99 years old or something like that, waiting for your Bitcoin to hit 1 million. But I think it'll do fine in the long term here. But it's definitely slowing down progress here every day, closer to that election. And hey, Casper, happy doing well, my man. I've been doing okay. I've been doing as much trading over the last couple days. Loki has a small injury to his like front right paw, so I've been kind of just like doing a little bit of trading, mostly just doing some day trades off of Turbo, basically. And then making sure that his paw's good. He has some meds I have to give him every now and again. He gets a half pill. He has his little pill things, So, doing okay, though. Not as doing as much trading as I want to, though. Plus, I'm getting ready to fly out on Sunday. So, again, I've been making more YouTube content. I'm in the process of making actually a few tutorials with breakouts, like how to trade a double top, how to trade a head and shoulders, that type of stuff, adding on the momentum of the oscillators just to give you more confidence and showing you guys the difference between if you follow the oscillators with a breakout versus a breakout without the oscillators, how often there are really false breakouts if you guys go against the momentum, even if there is a breakout there. When we were wholesome, now we're corrupt. Yeah, corruption happens. Hey, very happy to see my man. All money isn't good money. I'm just saying that because all of us in crypto community were elated to have big money in our community, but never knew it would come with this headache. Yeah, it's going to be a headache no matter what right now. Why do you guys think I talk about politics so much at this point in time? Because, I'm very happy that Democrats right now and Republicans are somehow deciding that, hey, we need to figure out this cryptocurrency thing. We may have some disagreements, but we should figure it out. And I'm furious right now at Biden for just saying, hey, I don't like this. I may veto it. Something is better than nothing. And I think if there's a vote where you have 279 people saying yes and 136 people saying no, I think that's enough of a consensus to say, okay, we can get this going on. We can update it as time goes on. We can fix little things. We can learn from our mistakes, but you at least have to get the ball rolling, right? You have to get things going. And so I'm really hoping we get he gets the act together, Because I know a lot of people want to vote for Biden, but they just don't like his crypto policy. I know a lot of people like Trump, but they're afraid that he may lie and he may say, hey, I'm elected. I'm not actually going to be this pro crypto. There's a whole bunch of different scenarios here. And again, I don't really trust politicians by nature, but they they want those votes. It's election season here. Do a tutorial on how to stop losing money over leveraging. People don't listen to me about that type of stuff. I've put out a video where I think I've given probably the best trading strategy, even though you don't get to trade as much, but the best trading strategy on YouTube. And that's where you follow the momentum of the weekly charts, the daily charts, and the 4-hour charts. And then from there, when everything's set up, you can do your proper day trading. You can do swing trading, and you can do some longer term investing where you hold for maybe 2 to 3 quarters of time. However, because it's not visually tantalizing, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't get many views online. So what I'm going to go for right now is do like a lot of tutorials. It's on the basics, like, hey, how to trade a double top, how to trade a head and shoulders, how to try to trade a rising wedge, a falling wedge, a rectangle, a cup and handle, all that type of stuff here. I don't even see many cup and handles, honestly, out in on the crypto charts, but they're there, right? So explain all that type of stuff. I'll see if they get views or not. What I think I need to do, I need to start posting on my Telegram again and the Discord again and get more involved in those. It's just so time consuming. I don't know how people do it. I'm pretty sure people will just like pay people to pretend to be them. I think that's actually what it is. I don't want to pay anybody to pretend to be me. I'd be terrified they just say something wrong. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start promoting my videos more in there, because the algorithm doesn't really show people when I post. Usually the notifications really don't go through. So for the people that, for those of you guys that really want to learn a trading strategy or how to trade like this, how to trade like this, how to make consistent money, I'll just start saying, hey, this video is out there, go watch it. Please watch the entire thing. Because remember, if you guys want to support the channel, what you guys have to do is you guys just don't have to watch the video. You guys have to watch the video from the beginning to end. And then you guys have to comment and like. And that's kind of a, that can be exhausting for some people. It doesn't sound like it, but it can be exhausting for some people. So I don't want to, but I'm hoping I can make just good content that people will just automatically want to watch, because that's what typically you do on YouTube. But I still have to figure that out a little bit more, because again, I can give a good strategy. I've given out quite a few. However, it doesn't mean it's going to go viral on YouTube in a minute. You don't think many people want to vote for Biden? What do you call it? I mean, hey. You're talking to somebody that lives right about Seattle. So I tell you what, they may not like Biden. Sure, a lot of people I know that are Democrats don't like Biden, but they just don't like Trump even more. I think that's kind of what happens over here. But again, there are tons of people who still like Biden, want to vote for him. It's just the way this weird country works, right? Stop leveraging as the tutorial. I mean, so Tiberius, you actually make a very good point there. Now, people do leveraging as they're learning, and I completely understand it. I'm not going to tell you guys to do something else. But when the way leveraging works is it takes whatever you're doing and it speeds up the process. So if you're doing very, very good at trading, it is going to make you become a very, very great trader. If you already kind of suck at trading and you enter leverage into that equation, you're just going to lose your money that much faster. If you have a 2x leverage and you suck at trading, you're going to lose your money twice as fast. A 3x leverage, 3 times as fast. So that's typically the way I approach it there. However, if you go with that strategy that I teach you guys, it works like a freaking charm. But you only have these like month or 2 month periods where you can go crazy and buy and have a lot of money coming in. And then after that, you're really looking at much more of a quiet time where you can still trade, but it's definitely like, again, those 24 to 30 hour trades where you're just holding for a couple days, no more than that. You buy on that breakout on the daily chart, even if the weekly chart's kind of more icky, you can buy on that daily chart, look at that change of character, look at that 4 hour chart, and you can trade for about 20 hours. For example, here, let me pop open this, and you guys can see this last change of character right here. However, if I go over here to the weekly chart, oh, I don't have the oscillators here. You guys know this is overall still green, change of character right there. Everything is still green right there. The oscillators have been really nasty, so the oscillators aren't actually all pointing towards a bullish move. But, there we go. See right here, old flag, but there you go. You can see how for the last few weeks we just haven't been there. Stochastic told you to be careful back in March 25th. RSI has been kind of bearish more since the 8th of April. So, it's been a minute. Because all this isn't looking too pretty, I typically don't go crazy and buy it. However, because this is all green here, and there you go. That last buying opportunity came right here. Buy right there, buy right there, buy right there. You can go over here, go to the daily chart, point that out very fast. Oh, actually, let me add this on here. Right. So once you have that established, you're going to be doing swing trading from here on out and day trading here on out, going to be bullish. At this point in time as well, everything is bullish, bullish, bullish. So you can start to open up some trades right here. The issue with this, you might say, which people typically have is, Michael, you're telling me to buy right here and trade from here to there or here, to there, whatever. You're telling me to buy here, but I wanted to buy right here before the move. You can do that too, but I believe the best way to do that is to just dollar cost average, relax a little bit, because most of you guys don't know how to trade full time yet. So why force yourself to make those difficult trades when most likely you're going to lose money? Why gamble when you don't have to gamble? You ask an actual investor how they're making money, they're not going to tell you they're gambling with it, because gambling infers you're going to lose more than you make, in my opinion. While trading crypto and stocks, I know I'm going to make more money than I lose. It's kind of like a fact in my brain when I actually open the trade. I know this is going to work out. But you buy right here. You're looking for a level of resistance. Again, this could be anything here. There's a level of resistance right here from way back over there. and you could probably say, hey, I'm going to sell right here. Or again, you see there's a few days of consolidation right here. You could sell right there. It doesn't matter, but you've been able to buy right here, sell right there. You've been able to make some money. You see a break of structure, break it right there with a buy on the daily chart. You can buy right here on this breakout, and you could trade it to that next level of resistance. You pull this up to right there, whatever was happening right here. Something from way back over here. It looks like, oh, there's a little bit of resistance right there. But again, you get the point I'm trying to make. Even if you were to sell right here or something, you're still having a good time buying low, selling high. You do that enough, you're a full-time trader. It doesn't matter how much you sell above it, really, as long as something reasonable, but typically that's what you're going for. Again, bullish right here, change your character, buy. You ride that wave up. Maybe you don't sell all the way up here. Maybe you just sell right here. If you recall, this is exactly what I did, actually. I sold right there, then it kept on going, and I was like, okay, I'll buy again right here, and oh yeah, I could sell right here, or I can sell right here. In fact, for me, I sold on the 7th, so I actually sold right here, way before it went up higher. But again, at the time, it seemed like a good idea. There's a lot more to the trading strategy than that, but that's why I make the videos on it. But if you just do that, things are just so much more simple there as far as I'm concerned. So, and right now, there was a change of character right here. Again, it's more icky. It's not as good. So I'm not going to really hold on to it for too long. But if it says change of character, buy, you can go over to that 4-hour chart here. I can find it again. There you go. Go to a 4-hour chart. This is where you're holding for just about, what did I say? Wait, so this was actually in the pop. So that was in the pop. So you're not going to buy it right before the pop. See, but if you hold it for just a few hours, 4 hours right here, there's some resistance level right here. Was there resistance over here? Oh, wow, there was a resistance over here. Wow, and again, some people don't care about buying right here and selling right here. Some people want to buy right here and they just want to sell, up here, so an imaginary land up there. You can just, you can get it under control a little bit. Just be happy to sell and take some profit. I think you guys are going to be fine. Just like when it came to that turbo trade we made. Remember, I bought my turbo down here, so honestly, it was pretty cheap. No, I bought it way over here. So I bought some over here, bought some over here. So it's a pretty good place. But you know where I sold my turbo? Down here. Right about there, because that stop loss. And it went higher. Now, I had sold a little bit left in there, of course, but still, it's, I made money. That's all I care about. Oh, let me go back over here very fast. There we are. I'm hoping that Bitcoin can break it right now. Let's see. Do I use the pi cycle Bitcoin indicator? If you could take a look at it, the previous cycles had similar things happen, and we were hanging on to the support on total 3. I do not use the pi cycle Bitcoin indicator. Pi cycle Bitcoin indicator. PI. There was too many of them. I have no idea. Let me know which one it is, and I can try to learn it, and then I can just make a tutorial on it. There's tons of stuff I've done like that in the past. I have a video on I think, who is it? Lazy Bear. Lazy Bear has a lot of cool tools that kind of are enhanced MACDs or enhanced RSIs, things like that. But if you go over here and you search on YouTube, that's a Pulse MACD, I think it was. Is that what it is? Pulse MACD? Don't even know if my video is still here. I made it such a long time ago. Pulse MACD tutorial, maybe? Oh, there it is. Oh, I forgot. I have an Asian guy on this one. But yeah, it's about a year ago. Ultimate Impulse, not Pulse. Impulse MACD. Okay. Did I even spell Impulse right? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay. Impulse MACD right there. I have a bunch of stuff like that on my channel. It's kind of lost due to time, but yeah, it's there. And if it's good, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna get an editor here pretty soon. I've been like testing out a few. I had one that I liked a little bit, but the video didn't really perform too well, so I'm not entirely sure what to do next. I think what I'm gonna do is really turn myself much more into a personality, where you're gonna see me just posting on my phone out in the world a little bit more, and having a more of a fun time. I think you guys see me more in my computerized mode, where I'm much more serious and not really laughing as much. It's usually because it takes about 5-6 shots to get me really happy. I think that's the reason. Over time, you guys will see me enjoying those 5 to 6 shots more often, I would say. Maybe when I go out to expos and whatnot. What's right here? And hey, Villo, happy to see my man. I was backtesting Turbo at the bottom on the weekly chart, and there was a beautiful fair value gap entry, and this was up 9,000% from there in October and November. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I believe it. I mean, you know, you go over here. I don't think Turbo's in the top 100, but you go to year to date, and you pull out. Let's see if I can. I need to get rid of a couple of these things here. I need to get rid of the 60-day and the 90-day. I think that works out. Oh no, I forgot. It spreads it out, doesn't it? I mean, that's just good enough for us right now. Let me actually add on 90-day chart, 30-day chart. Will that push things in there even more? No, I didn't really do that. Okay, it doesn't matter. But you guys can see Bitcoin year to date, despite all this crap that's been going on, it's still at 56%. Ethereum still at 52%, you know, it's up a little bit. You have to try to compare that to stocks a little bit if you ask me. So, you know, go over here. Actually, let's go to this page. Let's go over to the breakouts one. You know, Google. Let's see. Doesn't actually tell you year to date. Yeah, Google year to date is up 27%. I'm sorry, I'm looking off to the side right here. Let's go over here right past. Right there. Up 43%. Let me just drag this up all the way. I mean, Disney's up 8% right now. Apple, a huge company. It's only up 13% year to date. You know, something like a Meta probably doing a little bit better because of the historic crash. I mean, this is a cryptocurrency crash that Meta had. Let's be honest, right? It's up 43%. Bitcoin's still doing better than that, I believe. Yeah, 56%. Yeah, still doing better. So, sorry, I always got to figure out what chart I'm on. I don't know. Oil is probably not even doing as hot as that. Yeah, oil is 8% year to date. I'm so happy I sold the majority of my oil stocks. What do you call it? I did buy some ZOM though. You can see ZOM's actually falling this month, but overall I'm still happy with it because it's more of a dividend play now. But I got out of oil at just the right time at this resistance level. Mostly because ExxonMobil bought one of the companies that I was actually heavily invested in. So I just had a lot of cash flow. So I was like, put it into ExxonMobil. And that trade so far isn't probably doing so hot. But, you know, again, dividends are dividends. But, I mean, like, let me see anything else. Like, NVIDIA, that's probably where you want to be. That's up 167% year to date. NVIDIA's having a good time here. But, again, not everything obviously is NVIDIA. I'd still rather be in Bitcoin over Apple, you know, you name it, that type of play here. But, again, you know, you even get out of, you know, Ethereum's at 52, BNB's up 92, Solana's up 40, XRP's down 22. Their lawsuit's going to be interesting. Dogecoin is at 50. Dogecoin is outperforming Apple. Isn't that funny? Toncoin 254%. ADA is down 30. AVAX is down 22. SHIB is up 95. Tron is up 8. Polkadot's down 25. Chainlink is down 2. Bitcoin Cash up 64. Uniswap up 44. Near's up 52. Litecoin's up 5. You know, still doing great. Litecoin is the Disney of altcoins, you know, so we'll wait to see how that turns out. Liquid Courage, oh yeah, I'm a much more pleasant guy when I drink, guys. A much more pleasant guy. It's just the way I am. I'm usually much more conservative and reserved, and when I get a couple of drinks into me, oh boy, am I a fun guy to be around. But it takes a minute. It really takes a minute for me to do that. It really does. All right, hey Max, so what I'm going to do is I won't have time this weekend to learn. I'll have to learn it sometime Tuesday when I get back from visiting a friend. But what I'm doing, Oops, wrong one. There we go. So I'm saving your comment. I'm just going to put it into my folder over here, or at least in my download section. And then I'm going to look it up and try to learn how to use it for you. It's an addiction. The trades that get you big profits seriously make you feel like a god. I remember my therapist asking me if I feel like a god, and I said to her, only when I beat Wall Street. There you go. I imagine being that roaring kitty guy with GameStop back in the day. You know what I mean? Probably felt like amazing. Now GameStop is like doing a whole bunch of wacky stuff, but I don't even know if GameStop is still, what's GameStop? GameStop went kind of unched today. That's not terrible. You know, it's consolidating here. Coming up pretty soon, you might even see a move up here. Again, you're kind of taking those YOLOs at this point just to have some fun. But I got my FFIE a couple days ago. Nothing's been happening with it. Nothing at all. Looks like it tried to pump up today, actually, but it failed. It tried to do something. Let me see. Do I got my phone on me? Got that Webull trade here. Let me put up Bitcoin here just so you guys can see if we're going to try to break out or not. But let's see. Webull. Pop this open. I made 3.5% today. Whoopie-doo. But basically, overall, my position, I'm still down about 28%. Still down about 28%. One call is down, like one of my calls is down like 50%, So it is what it is. Most of my calls are for FFIE just to hit $1 sometime before August. So we'll see. The spreads are horrible on that particular options play, so I probably wouldn't recommend following me on those. It's more of just a fun YOLO. Maybe I'll do a YOLO for GameStop for ending on next Friday. I'll maybe buy it Monday. No, I want to do it like a month away and then maybe like an $80, something like that. Just enough for it to not fill or not get into the money, but enough where the price would rise, basically. Still digging MSTR? Oh, yeah. For sure. They're about to get even more Bitcoin. So, again, this is actually probably the best time to be buying them because Bitcoin's coming down a little bit here. Yeah, no worries, Maddox. Happy to help you. About to start a top step combine. I'm going to go for 150K funded account. I got to get a grip on the NQ just like I got on Bitcoin. It's in the bag. What do you call it? There's a lot of different ways to get the funding nowadays, which is pretty interesting. I myself, when I'm looking to do some work right now, it's in the very, 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 very early stages. But I'm going to start having a good friend of mine start to build up some infrastructure. And I think I'm going to try to help out in the political realm a little bit as far as some crypto policy. Now, just for Washington State, I'm not going to DC or anything like that. I don't want to take one of those longer flights, but I think a little bit more fulfilled, if you will, by doing some policy work, making sure the people in power kind of understand more about crypto. Because I think a lot of people don't know much, and they're just kind of they're kind of told what to do, and they kind of just have these trusted people, and maybe the people they trust really don't know too much themselves. So by educating some of those guys out there, maybe I can get some good policy for my local Washingtonians and so forth there. And hey, Gambit, editing whatnot. Yeah, see, the only thing about editing for me really is very, very difficult to get that style. So the style I go for, it's a very high quality one, which just costs some money, which is why it's such a pain here. But I have a friend, let me find his channel. Internet anarchist. I'm not going to play the sound here, but you see that animation style. Look how fluid that is. Look how beautiful that is. That is some great stuff right there. Everything's moving. Everything's flowing. Everything just looks so darn beautiful. And I feel like this might cost like $1,000 of editing for the 16-minute video. Maybe if you find somebody cheap from India, you might be able to get down to $400 or something like that. But you see how everything is fluid, everything is moving. This is a very high engaging thing. And so what happens here is if you have one video that's like this, like 60 minutes, maybe the average person might watch anywhere from like 12 to 14 minutes of it. Whereas for my longer videos, if I can find them, mine are much more of the tutorial size. So when I find a video that's actually doing very, very well, like let me see, like this one right here, where it, you know, it has like 250,000 people that have seen it. Let me make it like this so it maybe zooms in a little bit more. There we go. So when it has a lot of people that watch it, no, it's engagement. There we go. With engagement right here, you can see people on average watch about 7 minutes of it, 6 minutes and 59 seconds. If I want to get this video up to a very high amount, it would take maybe people watching it up to 10 minutes or 20 minutes or, you know, whatever. This is a 33-minute long video, you know. I have to get it even higher. And I can see in my stats, you can go over here to see more, and you can see when people drop off. Like people typically, when I say, hey everyone, hope you guys are doing okay. Today I'm going to teach you guys about how to use smart money concepts, how to set everything up step by step by step. This is good for, you know, stocks, forex, and cryptocurrency trading. You guys will literally skip that entire part and have a huge drop off, and then you guys will pause right here. And whenever there's a point where you guys are, I'm actually showing you exactly what you need to do, you'll notice there's little spikes right here. Little spikes, little spikes, little spikes, little spikes. And that's basically you having to rewatch the video to say, hey, I want to make sure I get what he's telling me here. And then by the end of the video, you know, when I usually rant a little bit, about 13% or so of the people that start the video finish the video and like look at the whole tutorial. And what happens when they do that is they actually don't learn exactly what I was trying to teach them, because I'll how to set up, then there's how to use, and then there's like examples, you know, bit by bit. If you don't watch everything, they typically fuck it up. So we'll see how that works out. So I'm going to start making more tutorials like this in the future. But what you guys seem to like, from what the data is telling me, is you guys primarily like, date-wise, you guys prefer these types of videos where I'm literally out in my backyard and I'm just talking and having a good time here. So I need to be a little bit more animated during these videos, but typically me without computer data, without charts, outperforms charts. So one video a day is what I'm aiming for, to have one with charting data. That one I'm going to try to post around noon or 1 o'clock. And I'm hoping if I wake up early, which is a hard one, maybe it'll be a late night video, I'm going to publish a video either at me at the cigar lounge, me out in my backyard, me on a walk with Loki, me at the beach. I mean, wherever the, you know, frick I am at the time. And I'm just going to post a video talking about what I like, because these videos seem to get better engagement. And you can see the chart, you know, on that normal boundary. If I do maybe a technical analysis one here. Actually, this one did okay. Oh, this one's actually about the Fed getting crushed. More people had interest. No, that was fun too. Well, typically they don't perform all too well. Right now, I guess they'll be a little bit better, but it's still not enough to get the views to kind of get pumped in, right? So that's one thing. Plus, I've been spending like a half an hour every day dealing with spam. And you guys know how bad spam is on YouTube right now. It is it's bad. It's really, really bad. There you go. We all need a mission? Yeah, exactly. Do I know of a prop firm that offers crypto or Bitcoin high leverage trading that would be better for me? I don't know how to. I like how currencies move. No, I'm not entirely sure. So I've heard of some in the past, but every time I've like looked more into them, like I've asked my friends, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Because somebody else would be asking me the same type of question. Like, hey, I would stay away from them. Those ones I've been known, they don't give you all the profit back. You know, they kind of still a little bit stingy about giving. Like if you're really good, it may almost be like a casino saying, hey, you're too good for us sometimes, which is very, very weird, because aren't you making them money? So it's very, very odd sometimes. I personally don't have any that I could like in all good faith recommend. It's something that you would have to do some really good research on, and don't follow ads. Try to kind of figure it out. Like if you send me an email, I know I can get you on a good exchange. I could probably even give you better like rates and stuff like that. But that's because I have contacts at exchanges, but they're not going to give you prop. It'd mostly you just be doing some really good leverage trading, and you being able to get less fees because of that, and you know, more bonus funds basically, where they're saying, hey, going to give you some funds to trade with because you're a loyal customer basically, and then you can use those funds to pay for fees. You know, you high leverage a lot of fees. They can go towards fees. You can use it just for trading. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But that's all I know that I could possibly do, because when it comes to those prop firms, I'm just not a knowledgeable guy in that space at all. A day in the life, sort of just 5 minutes long. I enjoy watching Loki running around. Oh, so do I. So, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm going to make more videos of me just hanging out with Loki and stuff like that. It'll be crypto related as well, kind of just giving my 2 cents about things. But people seem to enjoy it a lot more, and I'll just be doing it more consistently myself. I'm better at being consistent at making money in the market than I am with YouTube at this point, right? See, and then Sebastian, I've done it before, and it makes no difference whatsoever. I know I've thought about it before. It only works. It only works in very, very high. What would you call, like, high engagement environments, and by that I mean when Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs, or when Dogecoin's hitting, like, 50 cents, 60 cents. That's what matters. Nowadays, there's a lot of people who leave on the streams and they're just in there to chat every now and again, but it's something on the side and so forth here. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing that kind of pops up. I don't know how to fix that right now, but I don't want to, because then if I set the stream back up afterwards, not as many people will join back up. So I don't want to mess with those things too much at all. This cycle has been horrible for alt so far. Oh, B-Way, you have no, I mean, you do know. Never mind, that's not why you have no idea. You know. But yeah, it's been a rough time. But it should be okay here. And Sebastian, yeah, I used to do it, actually, I used to do that a lot back in 2020, 2021. So yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, though. What do you think about Turbo Token? Dollar cost average, that sucker. Wait for a large move, but I am not doing many swing trades or even day trading right now. It's kind of like grinding back down. It'll hit support here in maybe a few days, and then you might take a bite out of it. But right now, Bitcoin's still looking a little more bearish here, where it's trying to break out and hold above the 50-day moving average today. So you're going to see some volatility, to say one way or the other, but that overall trend is still bearish, unless we could have some really good news. And I don't know if that Ethereum news for July 2nd is going to be enough to really keep Bitcoin on its toes here. But we'll see, right? But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a night right now. Loki's right here. I know you guys can't see him. Oh, no, right there. Oh, look at you. He's saying he has to use the bathroom. I have to go to the cigar lounge tonight, chill with some friends, talk some business. I've been drinking some Dark and Stormies, which is some dark rum. It's very, very good. I highly recommend them. It's dark rum with ginger beer and some other, like, bitters or some other stuff, which is good. Oh, look at you being such a good boy. Yes. Don't lick my neck. What are you doing like that? That's slimy. Yeah. Don't be licking my head. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, and also I gotta get my sister to watch his leg a little bit. He's like fine, then he's not. So I feel like it's like the pills are working, but he needs to like relax a little bit, and I'm not the best person to help him relax. When I get animated, he gets animated. So we'll have to see. But hope you guys all have a good Friday. Grab some drinks, have a good time with your family and friends, and get ready to watch that NBA game. I'm not usually an NBA player fan too much, but what do you call? I'm gonna watch it tonight. Oh, it starts in like 4 minutes. It's taking me a half an hour to get to the lounge, but we'll see. Thanks, everybody.